The Tigers continued their fight for the flag in the AL Central yesterday, winning behind a near no-hitter from Anibal Sanchez. Today it's the last look at Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder, and the rest of the Motor City Kitties for the Indians. Ubaldo Jimenez will get the task of trying to shut them down next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball. Today the Tribe wraps up a 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning as we're now into the stretch run for potential postseason spots in both leagues. And when you look at the American League Central Division, Rick, I think the Tigers might have the inside track because after today's game, they've got the makeup with Chicago, then 3 with Oakland. Their final 13 games are against Kansas City and Minnesota.
I know, and I'll tell you, Kansas City has played the Tigers tough this year, but I agree with you. Detroit has a little bit of an easier schedule. Oakland comes back to Detroit. That'll be a tough pitching matchup for the Tigers. And then when you look at the Sox, they've got 3 out in L.A. They're going to have to play the Angels. And then the big game, they got 4 against Tampa, who can certainly pitch. And then it all comes down to, the Indians against the Sox. And the Sox have beaten the Indians very well this year. But when you look at the 2 teams that are in it, 1 game separates them. It's going to be interesting down the stretch.
No doubt about it. Let's take a look at today's Nissan road-ahead pitching matchup. And for the Indians, it will be Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, Ubaldo Jimenez is making 5 starts against the Tigers already this year. His first 2 starts have been very good. His last 2 have resulted in losses. So we'll see what he has to offer. He hasn't had a good second half, just 1-9 and an ERA of over 7.
Get to a Nissan dealer for special offers on innovation that excites. The Indians had success against Rick Porcello the last time they faced him, but he's a guy that obviously can give him fits.
Well, Rick Porcello has lost his last 6 games. He's pitched much better than that. 5 of those starts, he's been right in it. The Indians beat him 3-2 last time. He gave up 3 runs, and he had a couple of 2-1 losses. And this is a guy that has given up the most hits in the league. They should have a lot of base runners, see if they can apply the pressure to Porcello this afternoon.
All right, we'll be back with the play-by-play as the Indians try to throw a monkey wrench into the plans of the Detroit Tigers. It's all next on Sports Time Ohio. Beautiful sunny day here in downtown Cleveland. Let's look at Jim Leyland's starting lineup today for the Tigers, brought to you by Kia. Quentin Berry, Andy Dirksen, Miguel Cabrera at the top. Then Prince Fielder, Delman Young, and Brennan Bosch. Johnny Peralta, Alex Avila, and Omar Infante. Ubaldo Jimenez, 9 wins, 16 losses, an ERA of 5.52 on the hill for the Indians today. Tigers have won 4 straight. They're a game back of Chicago in the AL Central standings. And the first pitch of the game up high, ball 1 to Berry. White Sox lead the Twins 3-1. They're in the 4th inning in Minnesota. Up and away 2-0. 72 degrees our game time temperature. Just about a perfect afternoon for baseball. Finds the strike zone. It's 2-1.
Yeah, this is one of, what, three o'clock starts here throughout the course of this year.
On Sunday afternoons, yeah.
Right.
Barry pops it in the air. Center fielder Michael Brantley settles under it, and we've got one out.
Well, let's take a look at Ubaldo's numbers, brought to you by MLB.com at Bat12 for the new iPad. He is making his 30th start, 9-16. 16 are the most losses in the league, a 5.52 ERA. And for Ubaldo, it's his sixth start against the Tigers this year. His first two were very good. His third one was a no decision. And then the last two, he was beaten by the Tigers. So he is 2-2 this year in his 5 starts, but has pitched pretty well overall.
Andy Dirks takes the first pitch, strikes. Dirks not in the original starting lineup for Detroit. Austin Jackson was a late scratch. He's got a sore ankle, so he was originally the leadoff hitter, and Barry was in the 2-hole, so Jim Leland just bumped Barry up to the leadoff spot and inserted Andy Dirks. 2 balls and a strike. Lays one in there, a line drive, base hit to center field for Dirks.
Take a look at that Tribe defense for you behind Jimenez this afternoon. It's going to be Kanzler in left, Brantley in center, Chu is in right. Hanahan at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis is at second, Kochman at first with Santana behind the plate.
Mark Wegner calling the balls and strikes today. Brian Knight at first, Wally Bell at second, the crew chief Mike Winters down at third. Miguel Cabrera steps in. 328 average, 37 homers, and 120 runs batted in. He's also bashed 35 doubles on the year.
Yeah, some terrific MVP type numbers again for him this year, but also has led the league in 28 ground ball double plays.
Down low, the off-speed pitch, it's 2-0. League leaders brought to you by your Cleveland Akron area Lexus dealers. He's second in batting average, 3 points behind Mike Trout. He's fifth in homers, 5 off the pace set by Josh Hamilton, and second in RBIs, 3 behind Josh Hamilton.
I think he can do the average in the RBIs. The home runs may be difficult.
Base hit into right field for Cabrera, just hitting behind the runner. And the Tigers with back-to-back singles here in the first.
Something that this guy does so well is go the other way with the baseball. But there's a pitch that comes back, and it's right down the middle. And good hitters aren't going to miss that pitch. He stays on top of it, lines it into right field to Chu, so they have back-to-back singles and 1 out.
While Santana goes out to talk to Jimenez, let's go downstairs and check in with Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, I had a chance to speak with Sandy Alomar Jr. today about Miguel Cabrera and the fact that this is the last time they're going to see him this season at least. And he said, you know what, he's a guy who's a pure hitter. He's the type of hitter you want. He's got strong hands, great bat speed. He stays inside the ball. He's very similar to Paul Konerko, who the Indians will see here soon with Chicago. But he said the thing about him, when you know you're good, is when you can consistently hit home runs to right field, and that's what Miguel Cabrera does.
And we've marveled at that over the years with Cabrera, is that he'll take his base hits to the opposite field. He's not a pull guy. He'll hit the ball in the inner half and pull it with power, but he'll take his opposite field hits, which is why he hits for high average.
And I still agree with Konerko up there being a good hitter. I think Miguel Cabrera, though, is just a little more dangerous than Konerko is. Both excellent right-handed hitters. Both do the same thing. They're not afraid to sit on a breaking ball and shoot the fastball the other way.
Now the 1-1. Fielder hits a ground ball to Cabrera. He'll have no double play. He'll retire Fielder for out number 2. But with that shift on, just the way that ball was hit, they didn't have a chance to set him up to turn a double play.
I mean, you're right, but it took a base hit away because he was on that side. With Kipnis being over there, you'll see the setup. Nobody could get to second base. So, in turn, the only out they could do, go to first, and everybody moves up a base.
And with 2 down, Delman, Young steps in. More traditional defensive alignment for Young. The DH for Detroit, 1 for 5 in this series. And I pitch outside for ball 1. Jimenez fires, and it's inside, 2-0. Against the Indians this year, Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder have combined for a .310 batting average. The rest of the team has hit just .248. Again, he goes inside. He misses. 3 balls, no strikes.
Now, the Tigers have scored 9 runs in this series. 5 of them have come with 2 outs. They're also a very good team scoring in the first. Second in the league in first inning runs behind the Yankees.
That's up high, ball 4. So he walks Young on 4 straight. And the bases are loaded with 2 down for Brennan Bosch as Santana goes out to the mound once again. Here comes Manny Acta. So you got to believe Manny is seeing something here at the outset that he's not comfortable with.
You know what? I think this is the 3rd straight time where they've had a visit to the mound in the first inning in this series. But Manny is coming delivering his own message right here. You know, he pitched around Young right there on 4 straight pitches.
Almost looks like he's asking him, are you okay? You know, the way he's throwing the ball, maybe he just sees something he doesn't like and saying, are you all right?
Well, he's not delivering a message. You're right. He may want to find out on his own. I think you're right.
Brennan Bosch will be the batter, left-handed hitter, 2 for 6 in the series. And Jimenez needs 1 out to get out of trouble here in the first and keep the Tigers from grabbing the early lead. Bosch fouls it back. You know, we've talked about the Indians this year and how they've had troubles in bases loaded situations. And on the year, the Indians, as a team, batting .210 with the bases loaded. But the Tigers are hitting just .200 in bases loaded situations. And a measly .130 with 2 outs.
As I felt, there'd be more teams than you think about in that situation.
For his part, Brennan Bosch, 1 for 10. In fact, it was Bosch who had the bases loaded in Detroit with 1 out in that first inning and hit into a double play. Off the end of the bat, 1-2 the count. Jimenez, the 1-2. Bosch fouls it right back on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
They want this ball down and away, and that ball is up and in. You know, that was letter high. Maybe he got away because it was up too high. You don't want to get that one down, but he missed his target by quite a bit right there. Santana was sitting down and away.
The 1-2. Little tapper out in front of the plate. Jimenez will pick it up. Throw to first. It's low. Kochman digs it out. No, he can't come up with it. Ball gets away. 2 runs will score. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead. It was a do-or-die pick for Kochman at first. And he just couldn't come up with it on the ball in the dirt. And the Tigers strike first.
Well, again, that's a play that a topper, nothing you could do. Jimenez comes up and the throw's a little low. I'm sure it'll go as a base hit and then a throwing error to let the second run score. That ball's down, and that stayed down on Kochman. He tried to stay down on it. That ball hit and skipped on him. And that's going to allow the Tigers to score 2 runs. This one coming on the base hit. It would have been bang, bang on a good throw. But here comes a second run on the bad throw by Jimenez. So another error.
They're going to give him a single and an RBI in the second run scoring on the low throw by Jimenez. So the Tigers have a 2-0 lead, and that's bad news for the Indians because in the last 28 games in which the opposition has scored first, the Indians are just 2-26. There's a pop to center. In comes Brantley, and the inning is over. But the Tigers grab the early 2-0 lead. The Indians are coming to bat. Bottom of the first inning, the Indians starting lineup brought to you by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Shin-Soo Choo leading it off, then Jason Kipnis, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera. Carlos Santana, who has great career numbers against Porcello, hitting cleanup, followed by Michael Brantley and then Russ Kanzler. Lonnie Chisenhall, Casey Kochman, and Jack Hanahan rounding it out.
Rick Porcello on for the Tigers, 9-12 this year. He's had sort of a disappointing year. He's pitched much better lately. He's lost his, and watch when I say this, he's lost his last 6, but I'm saying he's pitched better. It's just that he has had no run support. In 4 of those 6 games, they didn't score him a run. They already have 2. They've averaged just a hair over 1 run a game when he's been on the mound, so he's got to feel good about himself right now. 0-2 this year against the Indians, 5-3 in his career.
So Porcello winds, and Shin-Soo Choo looks at a ball outside.
Porcello, pretty much a ground ball pitcher. He's got the sinker. He averages almost 2 ground balls for every fly ball out there. So we'll see if he can get the Indians to beat it in the ground. Gives up a lot of hits, 207 hits, which leads the league in his 162 2/3 innings. But he doesn't walk many people. He makes you hit your way on. But the league has been doing that.
Yeah, any way you slice it, he's pitched with a lot of traffic.
Right. I mean, when you look at the numbers between, let's say, Jimenez and also Porcello, Ubaldo's given up less hits but a lot more walks. And
right.
Porcello's given a lot more hits and less walks, but it's been about the same traffic.
Still, as the adage goes, you want to make the guy hit his way on, because if he's putting it in play, you at least give your defense a fighting chance.
Right. You can't defend the walks.
Chu bangs it up the middle, and Porcello makes a nice play to record the first out.
This is the ball, if it gets over his head, good chance it's a base hit for Chu up the middle. He timed it beautifully, able to hold on to it, and it's an easy flip. A lot of times you see a guy maybe drop the ball, but no, sir, not Porcello.
Jason Kipnis takes a look at a ball outside. Kipnis 0 for 4 in the series opener. Man looks at a strike. I was thinking too, Rick, with Porcello on that last play. It helps when you're 6'5" and you don't finish by falling off, extremely hard to one side or the other. He finishes, for the most part, pretty square.
Good fielding position, yeah. Well, when you're a ground ball pitcher, and you should finish in a pretty good position, unlike, let's say, Scherzer or Verlander, the power arms.
Yeah. Two and one to count for Kipnis. And now Jason in a good spot here, 3-1. And it's ball 4. One on, one out for his dribble Cabrera.
Let's take a look at that Home Depot Tigers defense for you. It'll be Dirksen left, Berry in center, Bosch in right. Cabrera at third, Peralta's at short, Infante at second, Fielder at first, Avila behind the plate. More savings, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
After missing 4 straight games with right wrist soreness, as Dribble Cabrera was back in the lineup yesterday, went 1 for 4 and drove in a run with a base hit. Couple of throws over to first. Kipnis with 27 steals leads the Indians. Tribe down 2 here in the first. Porcello having a tough time getting into an early groove here. He's thrown 11 pitches, and 8 of them have been out of the strike zone. Borderline pitch called, a strike, 1-1. And he's up high with that one, 2-1.
Yeah, he's searching for it right now. Home plate. He's missing by a little bit, both inside and out.
Low, 3 balls and a strike. And so now 10 out of 14. As Porcello keeps shaking that right arm like maybe he's just having a tough time getting it loose here in the early going.
Well, you see Jim Leyland. It's got him sort of fidgeting over there in the dugout.
And he's walked back-to-back hitters. With 1 out here in the first, Carlos Santana coming up. Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday. Carlos Santana got the Indians on the board after Anibal Sanchez was flirting with the no-hitter. That was the first hit of the game, as Santana rolled into third with a triple, his first and only on the year. Great clips. It's going to be great. And right here at the outset, things looking pretty good for the Tribe to come right back after back-to-back walks with 1 out in the first. And remember, I think, wasn't he 3-1 or 3-2 to Chew?
Yes, he was. Yeah, this is a guy that throws a lot of strikes. We told you he doesn't walk many. He will give up a lot of hits, but when you give up extra base runners, that's the time to take advantage of it. And that's where the Indians have been offensively better this year, is when they do get a couple of free base runners, they have opportunities. Well, take advantage of the walks.
Yeah, great chance here early. Santana 2 for 8 in the series in addition to that triple. His other hit was a double. And he drives one to left field, but Andy Dirks coming in will make the catch. 2 down. So after walking back-to-back hitters, Chew and then Cabrera, Santana went after that first pitch. Well, just a lazy pop to left for out number 2, and now Michael Brantley coming up. Brantley, like Cabrera, has missed some time here recently. Soreness in a chest muscle. And takes down low for ball 1. In 16 games, you see Brantley has swung the bat well against Detroit with a .365 average. And he misses outside 2-0. Two and 1 the count with Jason Kipnis at second base and Asdrubal Cabrera down at first. And way out of the strike zone again. 3 balls and a strike.
You know, that's the amazing thing. I look back, and after the 2 straight walks, Santana comes up and swings at the first pitch to make an easy out. It's not like he hit a bullet or hit it hard. He popped up to left.
You don't want to take a guy's aggressiveness away, but
no, you don't.
Gosh, when a guy's struggling like this, you don't want to.
You got to make him get in the strike zone.
Ball 4. He's walked him loaded here in the first. And just like the Tigers, the Indians have a chance with 2 outs and the bases loaded to do some damage here in inning number 1, as Russ Kanzler will be the batter.
3 walks is the most he's walked all year long, but he's done it 5 different times. But he's done it here in the first inning.
Yeah, I'll bet none of those other games that happened in 1 inning.
No. I mean, he's walked 3 out of the first 5 hitters.
Now Russ Kanzler, 1 for 8 in the series with a double. Oh, and he swings at the first pitch, breaks his bat right back to the mound. So the Indians let Porcello off the hook. They leave him loaded, 2-0 Detroit after 1. McDonald's Cherry Berry Chiller. Cherry and raspberry flavors blended with ice and 100% fruit juice. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Second inning with Detroit on top 2-0. Alex Avila will lead off. And Avila takes a strike. 3 for 7 in the series for Avila, who has struggled most of the year at the plate. But he was also involved yesterday in an odd piece of base running that cost Detroit a run. Missed inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chopped foul. There are a number of occasions throughout the course of a year where a runner will miss a base, but a lot of things have to happen. First, you have to see it as a defender.
Right.
Second, the umpire has to see it so that it works on the appeal. And then you have to appeal it correctly.
That's right.
All 3 things worked yesterday, even though the Tigers tried to deke the Indians out of appealing the play. Fouled back.
Yeah, it's something you see. You know, occasionally we think somebody misses the bag and you make an appeal and the umpire says no, he hit it, or he tagged up on time. It's all part of the process. But yesterday was one of those strange plays where when they did make the appeal, the Tigers tried to do something a little different so they could keep the run on the board at the time, knowing that he missed third base.
Swung on and missed, and Avila strikes out. We can show that to you. This is what happened. Avila was at second base. The ground ball went to short. And Avila, when he went around third, missed the bag as Cabrera tried to throw it behind him. Watch his footwork. He slid.
Just jumped right over the bag.
Yep.
Comes in to score. Now, everybody saw it. The umpire, Wally Bell, was right on the plate. So
So
now they're going to appeal it.
But time was out.
Okay, time was out, but they told Quentin Berry to go ahead and steal for third, and they want him. And after time was put back in, now if Chisenhall doesn't step on the base first to appeal that play and goes after Berry and touches him, then the run would have counted because that would have been the third out. That's why the Tigers tried to steal a run there.
In effect, had he tagged him before the appeal play, then the appeal is over. You can't appeal once that, because the next play has already happened.
Because you're making a play. Yeah.
So it was a smart play by Detroit. It just didn't work and took a run away from the Tigers as Kanzler squeezes that for out number 2. The Subway Sub Prize on the line is the AL Central standings. As you look there, the Tigers just a game back of the White Sox. And the White Sox are winning in Minnesota 3-2 in the 5th inning.
Well, and they have that makeup game tomorrow in Chicago. They had a 4-game series set this week. They were rained out on Thursday. Both had an off day tomorrow, so it will be made up.
And then the interesting thing is that the Tigers, after that makeup game tomorrow, then they have 3 with Oakland. And then the rest of the way, all the Tigers play is Minnesota and Kansas City. Stat of the game brought to you by our Northern Ohio GMC dealers. So their final 13 games are within the division, but they're against third place Kansas City and currently tied for last Minnesota. While the White Sox have 4 with Tampa and 3 at the Angels out in Anaheim. So a degree of difficulty a little more tough, a little tougher for the White Sox.
You know, I'm sick. You look at these schedules and you can say, okay, they're playing the percentage of teams, their winning percentage is down, but you still have to play the games. That doesn't matter.
Good inning for Jimenez as he retires the Tigers 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Detroit. Bottom of the second inning, and the Tigers lead the Indians 2-0. Bottom third of the Indians order coming up here. Lonnie Chisenhall, Casey Kochman, and Jack Hanahan. Chisenhall DHing here today. Fouled out of play. Missed down and in with that fastball. Same pitch, same result. And it's 2-1. We'll see if Porcello, after a really rocky first inning that the Indians helped him out to get out of, can figure it out now.
Well, I will say this. If their approach in the first inning was to get after him and maybe, be aggressive, because normally he is a strike thrower, but after his first inning, you may have to switch that approach a little bit, because out of the 3 outs they had in the first inning, they made outs on first pitches twice. So you may have to sit down and say, let's make this guy work, get him back into the strike zone.
Chisenhall sends one to center field for out number 1. The trivia question today brought to you by AT&T. Named the only player to get his 3,000th career hit off a future Hall of Famer. Kochman takes a strike. Porcello goes down and in and misses. Casey 1 for 6 in this series. And Porcello wide of the mark, 2-1. Fastball finds a strike zone that time, and he evens it up at 2-2. Little topper right out to the mound. Porcello throws him out, 2 away. The injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Clayton Kershaw scratched from his start today against the Cardinals with a right hip problem. And Chris Carpenter might start this week for St. Louis as the Cardinals battle for one of those 2 wild card spots in the National League. St. Louis 11 back of Cincinnati, so the Reds are closing in on wrapping up the NL Central, even though they've lost their last 2. Bet you could have won some money if you'd have had the bet on which team would win their division by the widest margin. And you had money on Cincinnati. There's a gapper by Hanahan. That'll go to the wall. He's on his way to second base with a 2-out double. Jack Hanahan's 14th double of the year. Nice job taking it the other way and going right with the pitch.
Well, he had a ball middle of the plate to do it with, too. And he does. 91-mile-an-hour sinker that stayed up a little bit. Hanahan takes advantage of it, so a 2-out double first hit for the Indians.
Back to the top of the order, and Shin-Soo Choo. At the knees, a called strike. There's that tailing fastball. It's 0-2. Hanahan, the runner at second base with 2 down here in inning number 2. Upstairs. Got his attention with that pitch.
Well, you're looking away, and then all of a sudden they go up and in. And we see Chu a couple of times that has to, get down. Takes that elevator down to the ground floor and you have to get out of the way. It's not that it was a head shot, but it is up and in.
Gets by, and down to third goes Hanahan.
Well, it's got to be a pass baller. I think he was crossed up. I feel it looked like he was crossed up. That was a slider. And he looked like he was trying to go up for maybe a fastball high. They're going to talk about it. Look at the slider. See, he didn't know which way to turn his glove. He said he saw something different than he put down. There's no question about it. He went up, down, and that ball goes between his legs. It's going to be a pass ball, but that was a mistake. The pitcher threw the pitch that obviously he didn't call.
So Hanahan's at third with 2 down. And a 2-2 count for Shin-Soo Choo. And he strikes him out over the inside corner to end the inning. 2 complete. It's the Tigers 2 and the Indians nothing. Third inning, and a reminder as you enjoy a cold one today to stay tuned later in the ball game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Two, 3, and 4 hitters due up here for Detroit: Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder.
Dirks got it rolling in the first with a 1-out single. He came around to score. On the base hit, the infield single by Bosch, and then the error scored Cabrera after that, the two guys that had legitimate singles.
Two and one to count here for Jimenez. Out of play, it'll even it up. White Sox now pulling away from Minnesota. They're up 6-2 in the 6th inning in Minneapolis. Now a full count. Dirks flies one to right. And Shin-Soo Choo will make the catch, one away. Back downstairs we go. Here's Katie with him.
Well, Matt, Rick, spring training is going to be here before you know it, and the Indians have some great travel packages available to get you out to Arizona, whether it's just for a weekend or an all-inclusive spring training trip with a player meet and greet. You can get all the information online now, Indians.com/spring. Guys?
Thanks, Katie. Miguel Cabrera singled and scored in the first and fouls that straight back.
Took a pretty healthy cut there. Normally you don't see him get that extension early. I think he was trying to hit that one out of the ballpark. Remember that first at bat, he just went the other way with it, took the nice little approach, had a healthy cut there.
He swats that one to deep left center field. That's headed for the wall, and it will bounce halfway up the wall. Brantley made a nice play. The throw offline, and sliding in safely is Cabrera with a double. Slid about 10 feet.
Yeah, well, when you're running as fast as he is, you're as heavy as he is, you don't go far. But I'll tell you, he did look like he was trying to turn on the ball this time, but he got an off-speed pitch and hits it, and it catches right there where the auxiliary scoreboard is and popped up. Brantley got it easily. Comes right back to him. If he makes an accurate throw, he's got him. He just pulled it and threw it to the shortstop side. Cabrera gets in there with a 1-out double. He is now 2 for 2. For Cabrera, that is his 36th double of the year. They're going to just put Fielder on, and why not?
Even though Fielder's just 1 for 7 in the series, he's done enough damage this year.
He's an RBI guy. He's got 98 on the season, and, you know, he's a tough guy to strike out. So then you go righty-righty. You got the double play alive for Young, who is going to be the hitter now.
So 2 on with 1 out. Young, a swing and a miss.
Delman Young is a guy that's been their problem this year, is their number 5 hitters. He did get hot there for a while. Last time we were in Detroit. He's a good low ball hitter, but, you know, they need him. He had a hot September and a good postseason.
Oh, he just drills one to right field. Coming around third, Cabrera lumbering down the line. He will score. And it's 3-0 Detroit. Tell you what, a more accurate throw from Choo, they might have had a chance to get him. But Young picks up his 64th RBI and extends the Tiger lead.
Well, that's a pretty good job of hitting there. He didn't try to pull the ball. Watch him stand. It's got to be elevated. No, it wasn't. It was a slider down. We said good low ball hitter. That's why. He was sitting on the breaking ball. With Delman, a lot of times, you may want to throw that breaking ball in the dirt with 2 strikes. He didn't get to 2 strikes. In comes Cabrera. That's their 3rd run for Young, his 64th ribby.
Brennan Bosch picked up an RBI his first time up, slashes this one into the seats, and it's 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Activity in the Indians bullpen. Bounced in front of the plate. Jimenez looking in as Santana did a nice job to block it and keep Fielder from advancing.
Well, he's had his practice this year with Jimenez on the mound. He leads the league 16 wild pitches, and there could have been 17. You have Fielder on second base. You know, he's not gifted with speed, and you have to make sure you're already in scoring position, so he didn't chance it. But you know when you call that splitter and Jimenez is on the mound, you had better be ready to block it.
Big chopper to first, but foul. That's Genmar Gomez, who lost his spot in the starting rotation to David Huff, getting loose in the bullpen. And, you know, Jimenez is at 56 pitches here. But we saw Manny Acta go to the mound in the first inning, and even though he went 1, 2, 3 in the second, you do wonder if maybe there isn't some kind of a health concern with Jimenez. The 2-2. He's had him out in front on that breaking ball.
For Detroit, that's I think one reason we talked about Detroit's inconsistency this year. It's been the hitters like Young, like Bosch, like Avila, Peralta. You know, that the people that have to pitch in and help the two big boys, the Cabreras and the fielders. Jackson's done it. He's out of today's game because he's got a sore ankle, but he's turned his year around.
Line drive caught by Cabrera. They go to second, but Fielder was able to get back in time to avoid being doubled up. There are now 2 down.
You know, that's a pretty good job of base running because I thought they were going to get him. You know, a lot of times you're taking off. He started and then gets back and just gets his foot on the bag before Kipnis could get there. Most base runners would take off. Fielder did not. Now, I don't care how fast you run. You have to make that adjustment as a player because, you know, speed is irrelevant. You just got to know yourself. He didn't get off and start leaning going to third base. It's hard for a base runner to do that.
You talk about the other guys in this Tigers lineup, and you look at Johnny Peralta, 251 average, nothing special, but 58 runs batted in and 31 doubles. So that's a pretty consistent Johnny Peralta type year.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he hits down in the lineup now. You're talking about 7.
That's what I'm
that's
talking
not
about.
A guy
right.
that's plugged in there that has to put those big numbers up. He's got 58. He'll end up with 65, 70 RBIs, and you know anywhere between what he has now, 11 and 13, 14 home runs.
Popped him up here to get out of the inning. Tigers get a run. Middle of the third. Detroit 3, Cleveland nothing. of the third here at Progressive Field with the Tigers leading at 3-0. And for the Indians, Jason Kipnis has Drupal Cabrera and Carlos Santana coming up. And Jason with a rip, but it's foul, out of play. Kipnis drew a walk in the first. Ground ball between first and second. Fielder, nice backhand, long flip. And Kipnis is beaten to the bag by Porcello. Fielder looked a little gimpy.
You know what? I wonder if he hurt his ankle.
I think when he went back into second base, Rick, I don't know if it was the ankle or if he slid in hard and caught his knee on the bag, but he looked like he was lumbering, and now Jim Leland's coming out of the dugout. I think he wants to go check on Fielder, but Fielder's trying to walk it off.
Something's wrong. You watch how long it takes for him to get set. Now he's going to flip it. I'll tell you what, it looked like Kipnis. He got down and beat it out. Oh, that was awfully close. But you're right, it was Fielder who made it a lot closer than what it should have been. But he couldn't turn, so
look
I don't know
how
if it's a
gingerly
knee.
he made that
I don't
turn.
know if it's a knee, an ankle, or what it is. That's about as close as it gets right there, but the Tigers get the call.
As Drupal Cabrera fouls it off. Jim Leland came out of the dugout, and he stood right in front of the dugout for several moments as Fielder never looked back to the dugout.
I know that. He didn't say a word. He just forget about it.
Well, as you know, I mean, nobody's 100% at this point in the season. You're dealing with a variety of aches and pains, just the toll of the everyday nature of the season. But what the manager's worried about is, are you hurt? I understand you're not 100%. I understand you're dinged and you're banged up.
Are you okay? Can you stay in there?
You're right. Are you hurt? Do I need to take you out?
That's when you start trying to lay the ball down the first baseline. Let's see how good it is.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, we're in the stretch run, and I'm sure it's not lost on any of these Tigers as they can look out to that scoreboard and see that the White Sox are putting it to Minnesota. They're up 7-2 in Minneapolis, so Detroit knows they've got to win. Now they're 8-2. Chicago keeps every time they change that score, it's another number up there. 8-2 White Sox in the 6th. So the Tigers know they've got to win here to stay a game back and then go to Chicago and
tomorrow. That's what you got to. First, they got to win this game, and then they have their chance. If they win here and Chicago wins, then they have a chance to even it up tomorrow. It's the last time they play the Sox.
Bouncing ball to second. Infante throws out Cabrera, 2 down. Here's our minor league update. Brought to you by University Hospitals. Adam Abraham last night in Game 4 went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. And he is named the series MVP. And congratulations to the Akron Arrows. Their 4th Eastern League title, 2nd in 4 years. Big congratulations to Chris Tremme, manager of that Double-A team. He's been managing in the Indian system since '06. And that's the first championship for him as a minor league skipper. So congratulations to Chris and Tony Arnold and their staff. Santana takes a strike and the count 1-2 with 2 down here in the 3rd and the Tribe down 3-0. A little bit too high, 2-2.
Well, he's starting to get a little better feel with that off-speed pitch. He threw a changeup to Santana for strike 1, and then the breaking ball He brushed him back right there with a fastball. See if he wants to get him out on that changeup or that off-speed breaking ball. I mean, when you figure this is the 18th game, they know all their scouting reports on every hitter. There's nothing that needs to be. There's no tricks. You got to make your pitches.
Yep.
You have to execute, and it's time to, either you make the adjustment or the pitcher does. One of the two.
By the way, Rick, in that game in Minnesota, Adam Dunn, his 39th home run of the year for Chicago. 2-2 to Santana. Drilled right field. Bosch moving over into the corner. Can't get to it. He'll play it on a hop. And he'll hold Santana to a long single.
All right there, Santana did a nice job. Got out in front and hooked that ball down the line. There it was, the breaking ball, and he made a mistake with it. Left it middle of the plate, and that's what Carlos should do with it. He hit it hard, pulled it. Although Bosch got over there, made a nice play to cut it off and keep Santana to a single.
Michael Brantley will bat here. He walked his first time up. It's like there's a meter running in that game between Chicago and Minnesota. The White Sox now up 9-2. Still batting in the 6th inning. High pop foul out of play. Raining down in Texas. Rangers and Mariners in a rain delay there. And the count now 1-2 on Brantley. Bouncer to short. Peralta will step on the bag, and the inning is over. 3 complete. It's the Tigers 3 and the Indians nothing. It's a 3-0 Tigers lead on a gorgeous day here on the North Coast. Alex Avila, Omar Infante, and Quentin Berry for the Tigers here in inning number 4. Genmar Gomez, who had been warming in the Tribe bullpen, has sat down. Avila struck out his first time up. An off-speed pitch, got him to swing through it.
Straight change right there.
Painted the outside corner with a good fastball, and now it's 1-2. Wide of the mark with the fastball, and it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a little bit high, full count. Payoff pitch. And he runs the fastball wide for ball 4. Let's go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt and Rick, you were just talking about the Chicago-Minnesota game. The White Sox with 6 runs here in the 6th inning. Adam Dunn, his 39th homer of the year, a solo shot. Diane Viciedo also contributed a 2-run homer to left, his 21st. Now 9-2 Chicago, bottom of the 6th at Target Field. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Boy, how about that? Goes from a 3-2 game to a 9-2 game in 1 inning.
Well, that's been Twins' problem all year is pitching. Well, they gave up a big inning to some team that team can hit some home runs on you now.
Runner goes and a bouncer to short. Cabrera steps on the bag, throws to first to complete the double play, and he got blown up by Alex Avila, who was moving on the pitch, so he got there about the same time that Cabrera tried to turn it, but even though he was upended, he hung in there and made a good, strong throw.
Actually, it was a great thing to hit and run because Cabrera was covering. If he doesn't start him, Cabrera's not there.
Probably a base hit up the middle, huh?
It might have been. If not, they would not have been able to get Avila, I don't think. It might have been a backhand by Kipnis. So that sort of helped the Indians, and we've seen it Friday night in this series that Jim Leyland likes at that part of the lineup. When you get a lead, you get the first man on, he starts the runner. And Infante, he had a hit and run yesterday that went first and third. But it didn't matter that time. The Indians lucked out because Cabrera was covering and they get the double play.
Down low. Swung on and missed. Got him looking. Jimenez gets his second strikeout on the double play ball. Gets him out of trouble here in the 4th. 3-0 Tigers. Well, it's a 3-0 Tigers lead. Bottom half of the fourth inning coming up. And for the Indians, Russ Kanzler, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Casey Kochman will be the batters.
Well, Porcello has settled down since that first inning. Boy, he was only throwing 32% strikes, 15 balls and 7 strikes. He's now back up to 65 in the last couple innings and starting a strike right here. Make it 2 in a row.
Two-strike pitch.
Oh, he
And
fell.
Porcello got lost his footing on the delivery.
Yeah, that foot slipped on him. You could see it. Watch that landing foot. He's going to slide, and it just caught a cleat. And he ends up, holding himself up. The delivery of that pitch was way off.
Kanzler bangs it in the hole. Peralta from the outfield grass, long throw. And fielder unable to dig it out, so Kanzler's aboard with an infield single, and the Indians have their leadoff man aboard for the first time today.
Johnny Peralta has a 72-game errorless streak, and that ties Eddie Brinkman for Detroit. That's very impressive. He gets there, but while he's going to his right, he can't get anything on the throw, so he was going to need help from his friend at first, who couldn't pick it. It'll go as a base hit. But that 72-game error string is pretty impressive. I know he doesn't have the best range in the world, but what he gets to, he can make the play.
Lonnie Chisenhall takes a strike. Fly to center his first time up. He takes, he's down on the count 0-2. He went too far, and that's a second strikeout for Rick Porcello, one down in the fourth.
I'll take advantage of the brand new customizable season ticket holder benefits package. It's called Tribe Rewards. You can spend points on experiences like throwing out the first pitch or attending a pregame press conference. If you would like more information, call 216-420-HITS.
High pop on the infield. Cabrera and Peralta converge, and Johnny Peralta makes the catch, 2 down. Now the Browns Red Zone returns tomorrow night at 8. Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, and Tony Grossi will take your calls and emails about today's tough loss to the Bengals. Browns played well. They fought hard, came from behind to make a game of it, but fall short ultimately once again. The Browns Red Zone tomorrow night at 8 on STO. Jack Hanahan laced a double to left center. His first time up in the second inning. And now the count 0-2. Now Rick Porcello struggled in the first inning. Walked the bases loaded. Had a tough time finding home plate. But since then, he has righted himself. He's given up just 3 hits to the Tribe. 1-2 the count on Hanahan. Back to even at 2-2. Ripped to right field, fair ball all the way down into the corner. And Kinsler stopped. He lost track of the ball, and he'll only make it to third.
You got to be kidding me.
Apparently, he just lost track of everything because he was stopped.
There's 2 outs. He thought it was a foul ball in the seats. He's got to score on that ball. There's 2 outs, and you're on first base. It's a double down the line. What he was thinking, I have no idea. Watch him. All of a sudden, look at, he just stops. He had no clue where the ball was at. And gets to third base. Hanahan gets his second straight double. But Kinsler has to hold up at third base. You've got to keep your eye on the ball.
Well, Jack with his second double. But any shot at an RBI was lost when Kinsler just put the brakes on. He dead stopped between first and second base.
I have no idea what he was thinking or looking at.
We had to think it was a foul ball. Why else would he have stopped?
You have to know it's a foul ball. You don't think it is.
Up high. Oh, top of the strike zone. Called a strike. Chu not in agreement with Mark Wegner on that call. Now the 1-1 to Chu in the dirt. Pop to left, shallow, breaking hard. Dirks won't get there. Kinsler scores. Hanahan on his heels will come home as well. And Shin-Soo Choo bloops one in the left for a 2-out, 2-run single. And the Indians cut the Tigers' lead to a single run. So Shin-Soo Choo gets the Tribe on the board with a 2-out RBI bloop into shallow left field, and with Dirks playing deep, he had no chance to get to it.
Well, they were trying to go back inside again to retire Chu. He gets enough of the ball and fights it off. So you put it in play, and good thing happened right there. It bloops in. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. The Tribe back into the game now. It's 3-2.
And now the batter is Jason Kipnis, 0 for 1 with a walk. Little tapper. And Porcello sidearms it, but fielder made a nice catch to end the inning. Tribe gets a pair. And after 4, the Tigers' lead is down to a run.
With 17 locations in Northeast Ohio. By Levin's, home of the Sealy Posturepedic mattress made right here in Northeast Ohio. By Kia, Cleveland.com. And by First Merit Bank.
Back here at Progressive Field, it's a 3-2 ball game now as we go to the 5th inning. Manubaldo Jimenez will face Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera, and Prince Fielder. Dirks pops it up. Back goes Kochman. Kipnis calls him off. 1 away. Tomorrow night at 9. Join Jim Donovan, Andre Knott, and Coach Sam for the GMC Berea Report. They'll review today's Browns game and provide injury updates from Berea. The GMC Berea Report tomorrow night at 9, right here on STO. Miguel Cabrera has singled, doubled, and he has scored 2 runs. And he takes ball 1. Slider on the outside corner. Oh, broke his bat as he absolutely sawed him off. Cabrera never saw the ball, never left home plate. He's still standing right at home plate with part of the bat in his hand. The barrel ended up all the way out near shortstop. And we've got 2 down.
You got to smile. I mean, he may not have known where the ball was because his barrel, look at it. Where'd it go? I don't see it. Well, it's right into Kochman's glove is where it was at. He gave him a couple of pitches to swing at earlier in the game out over the plate, and he busted him that time.
Now Prince Fielder intentionally walked his last time up. Takes outside ball 1. Fouled right back.
I want to send out a special hello to Wilbur Gullensmith. who is a very big Indians fan and a baseball fan in general. So, Wilbur, hello. Hope everything is fine.
Swung on and missed. His fielder came up empty. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Back out of play.
Bernice Haymayer of Brunswick is turning 93. Bernice, happy birthday to you. Tom Pointmeister of Jefferson is 65. Happy birthday, Tom, to you.
In the air, Chu in right field makes the catch, and the Tigers go 1-2-3. So Ubaldo Jimenez with another strong inning of work after the Tribe gets him right back in the game. Russ Kanzler was at first base, and he went halfway to second and just kind of stopped. See him talking.
I don't know. There's no excuse for that. You've got to know where the baseball is. You can tell you whatever you want, but you've got to pick it up. And if you don't see it as a base runner going first or second, you've got a third base coach to pick up as well. There's 2 outs on the plate. Fortunately, they both were able to come in and score because of the Chu base hit. But, you know, if you get stranded out there, that's big mistake.
As Dribble Cabrera lines one in the left center field, Quentin Berry cutting it off. And Cabrera with a leadoff single. So back-to-back innings now. The Indians have had their leadoff man aboard with a base hit.
Well, a good swing there. That sinker going away. He didn't get it away. Cabrera took advantage of it and drilled it to left center field. That's hit number 6 now for the Tribe.
Now Carlos Santana, who singled down the right field line his first time up. And looks at a ball outside. Chopper towards second, and it's kicked by Infante. He'll have no play.
Well, that was one of those do or die plays for him. He figures I've got to get this ball on the short hop if I want to try and get a double play, if not the lead runner. But he didn't field it cleanly, and that'll go as an error on Infante. He made that decision to come in. You can't lay back. If he catches the ball, it's a double play. He does not catch it. It goes as an error, and the Indians have first and second and nobody out.
Michael Brantley 0 for 1. Takes low and outside, ball 1. Activity in the Detroit bullpen. And as Porcello about to make his 80th pitch in the ball game. And Brantley lifts it foul out of play. Tribe trying to come right back here in inning number 5 now. Down a run, tying run at second. Go ahead, run at first. 1-1 pitch. And Michael Brantley takes a strike. He's down on the count 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Peralta to Infante. They didn't turn two. They came close, but Brantley beats it out. Jim Leland comes out to argue. Prince Fielder can't believe it. He thought they had the double play. Brian Knight called him safe at first, and Jim Leland will have his say. But the Indians have first and third with only one out. And Jim Leland is stomping mad right now.
Well, he is, because that's a big play. After the error, they get the opportunity to turn the double play. And you'll see how close it is at first base. And this time the Indians get the call. And it's awfully close. Bang, bang. Could have went either way.
I didn't think it was anything that should have brought Leland out to argue that vociferously. I mean, it was close. I thought he actually beat it.
I know, but that's where a manager goes out there and, later on in this ball game, he wanted that call after the error. It was bang, bang, didn't get it. There's still an opportunity. The double play is still in order, but that could be for later on down the road. He's going to let it be known.
So first and third with one out, Russ Kanzler the batter. Kanzler singled and scored in the fourth. Even after the base running mishap. And now he hits one off the glove of Porcello. It's in no man's land. Cabrera scores the tying run. Brantley, the go-ahead run, goes to third. So the Indians catch a break on the ball that caromed off of Porcello. And they've tied the game at 3 here in the 5th inning.
And Brantley able to read it and get all the way to third base. If he catches it, it's a third straight chance for a double play. He doesn't catch it. Now, that ball's hit hard. That's not an easy play as a pitcher. But it goes off his glove. Kanzler sees it all the way. Now watch Brantley. He gets to second base. He's going to pick up the baseball and knows he can get to third base. So still, it's first and third. They tie the ball game up. Still just one out.
And Alani Chisenhall fouls the first pitch back out of play. Swung at a pitch up out of the strike zone. And now Chisenhall down on the count 0-2. Lonnie has flied to center and struck out. Up high with the heater. Lonnie trying to get that go-ahead run home from third here in inning number 5. The Indians scored twice in the fourth.
One more here in the 5th. Broke his bat. Porcello goes to second. They get the out there. The throw to first. And they don't get him at first base again. Here comes Leland to argue once more.
He'll be gone this time.
You bet he will. The Indians have taken the lead on another bang-bang play at first as Miguel Cabrera wants to come over and join the fray. He just put his hands on Wally Bell. He might be in trouble there. Wally Bell was trying to cut him off from joining the fray, and Miguel Cabrera made contact with Wally Bell. That's a no-no. Jim Leland has been ejected from the game. No surprise there. You knew that was coming. Bang-bang plays twice here at first in the 5th. The Indians getting the call both times, and they take a 4-3 lead.
Well, I knew he was going to get his money worth. He was going to get run because it's back-to-back plays. They had bang-bang plays. And you see Porcello gets rid of it over to Peralta, and the relay comes along, and you're going to get another close one. Now, it's hard to see where that ball was there. Fielder, look at now he's upset again. And it's because it's back-to-back plays. Oh, God, I'll tell you. They're two really close ones, and Cabrera wants to come in from the other side of the infield. He saw the emotion. There's Wally Bell stepping in.
He pushed Wally Bell. I mean, you're not supposed to touch the umpires at all. Jim Leland stomping mad in the Tigers dugout, but the Tribe has come back with 2 in the 4th, now 2 here in the 5th to take the lead. And Casey Kochman, the batter, leans back. Kochman drills one left field. Dirk's over. He'll cut it off. Chisenhall will stop at second, and the inning stays alive for the Indians. 3rd hit in the inning for the Tribe. There's been an error and a couple of very close plays at first.
Well, there again, that sinker out over the plate that Casey Kochman puts a good swing on, takes it to left field. And you're right, Porcello already making the moves. Lloyd McClendon, he made the call for the left-hander. Porcello has given up 8 hits to the Indians in the 5 innings, or 4 2/3, let's say.
And he's out after 90 pitches here this afternoon. He couldn't hold a 3-0 lead as the Indians have battled back to take a 4-3 advantage.
But they got a 2-out, 2-run single from Chu in the 4th. And then a couple of very close plays here in the 5th inning helped the Tribe take a 4-3 lead. And Drew Smiley is the new Tigers pitcher, the left-hander, who's been primarily a starter this year, coming out of the bullpen now to face Jack Hanahan.
Well, Smiley, you're right. He has made 16 starts for him this year. He's a strikeout guy. 84 strikeouts in his 86 and 2/3 innings. They're looking for one out here, and it's going to be the left-hander Jack Hanahan that he is on to face. The Indians have 3 singles in the inning, but the error, you remember, that was made by Infante on a double play ball he didn't catch cleanly, extended the inning. The Indians have put 2 on the board, so back-to-back innings they've scored 2. They retake the lead. It's 4-3, and a chance to add to it.
Jack Hanahan 2 for 2, 2 doubles and a run scored. Eventually, we'll get a pitch thrown here. Man, it's low. Ball 1. That'll even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And now Drew Smiley is 1 strike away from ending the inning. Left-hander takes a long look in. And he strikes him out. But the Indians come back with 2 more, and they lead it now 4-3. For the Subway Extreme Fan Zone to an upcoming home game. It's the place to be for a chance to win.
Gift cards, Indians Fun Money, and get great discounts on your next Subway purchase. Subway, where winners eat. We go to the 6th inning, and Manny Acta will try to squeeze one more inning out of Ubaldo Jimenez, who has made 85 pitches on the afternoon. But he set him down 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. And Delman Young, a swing and a miss. Young has walked and driven in a run with a base hit. That was back in the 3rd. Misses low. 2-1. Joe Smith, the right-hander. Scott Barnes, the lefty, in the bullpen. Fouled. And 2-2 the count. So 2-2 the count for Young. Hit the 3rd on one hop for Jack Hanahan. One away. Recap brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Brennan Bosch with an RBI single and an error, allowing 2 runs to score as Detroit ran out to a 3-0 lead before Shin-Soo Choo's 2-out, 2-run bloop single got the Tribe within a run. And then the fielder's choice and an RBI right here for Lonnie Chisenhall as the Indians go ahead 4-3. Find out about more than 30 Toyota offers available now at buyatoyota.com. Bosch weakly taps one to short, and as Drupal Cabrera throws him out, 2 down. Back to the Hyundai Studios once again. Here's Al.
Hey, man, big game going on right now in the Bay Area. The O's and the A's. Josh Reddick gave Oakland a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 1st inning. His 29th homer of the year. Since then, though, Baltimore's tied it up at 2 in the 3rd inning. J.J. Hardy just knocked in the game-tying run. All even in Oakland, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. The last 5 Tiger outs have been recorded on 17 pitches. One ball, no strikes to count here on Johnny Peralta, who is 0 for 2. They're in the 8th in Minnesota, where Chicago is just tattooing the Minnesota Twins. You know, that's got to be on the mind of these Tigers, as they now trail the Indians by a run. Two one. Chop to 3rd. Hanahan backs up, sets, throws. Nice stretch by Kochman. And a terrific effort by Ubaldo Jimenez here today. He has retired the last 8 Tigers in a row.
Indians lead it, bottom of the 6th. Tribe scoring 2 runs in the 4th, 2 runs in the 5th, and they go back to work here in the 6th with the top of the order. But with the Indians' left-handed predominant lineup, Drew Smyly now into the game for Detroit, the left-hander, as Ubaldo Jimenez is done for the day after going 6 innings and really pitching well after he gave up the 3-0 lead. Little bit outside as Chu checked before chasing after it. Threw it by him. Good fastball. Drew Smyly, second round pick of the Tigers just 2 years ago out of Arkansas. Another one of those late bloomers. When he was a senior in high school, Smyly says he was barely 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. And he did not get drafted coming out of high school. And then he went to Arkansas, grew a little bit, pitched
late
well.
bloomer.
Yeah. 3-2. Another check swing and a foul ball. Boy, Chu is putting up quite a battle here. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. And a breaking ball is a called third strike. Chu doesn't like the call, but Mark Wagner rings him up. So back-to-back strikeouts for Drew Smyly, one down here in the 6th.
Well, he went fastball. He fouled off. There's the breaking ball. Right there, I think he was looking at another fastball in the last minute, and it may be tough to see right now in the shadows. Pitchers in the shadows, I know the hitters are, but it's coming out of that sunlight, and it's not the opportune time to be a hitter. You know, anytime at this time of the year you start a ball game, yesterday was a 4 o'clock start, which is tough. Today, a 3 o'clock start. It was a little easier today, but now the shadows are creeping in. It's going to be tough the rest of the way.
Popped him up. Cabrera. 2 down. Highlight reel brought to you by your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers, and 2 very close calls, both going the way of the Indians, and both on replay appeared to be the correct call, but the Tigers argued vehemently on both calls. The second one got Jim Leland ejected from the game as the Indians picked up a couple of runs to take the 4-3 lead.
Well, you knew that second time that Jimmy was going to be gone after coming out just the hitter before that. Both of them very close is right. But the Indians able to take the lead. It's still a lot of ball game left. We're only in the bottom half of the 6th inning.
And as Dribble Cabrera, who singled and scored his last time up, will try to keep the inning alive, but he's working from behind against Smiley, who's thrown well since coming out of the bullpen. And Cabrera just throws the bat at it and lines one into right field for a 2-out single.
Well, how's that for a 2-strike approach? Ball that was, probably well off the plate, and he's down in the count. Look at that pitch. He just stayed back and threw his hands out to the baseball. And it was a line drive to right field. Amazing, isn't it? Where you can sit up there and try and hit the ball as far as you can and swing through it, but you put a swing like that on it, you get a base hit. Hit number 9 for the Indians, and Cabrera's been on 3 out of his 4 times today with a walk and 2 singles.
Santana pops one up. Fielder over in front of the Tigers dugout. And Avila, he ran into him and the ball drops. Boy, he dropped Avila too. That's like running into a Mack truck. And now let's hope Alex Avila's all right.
Well, either player could have caught the ball. I always feel it's an easier pitcher or an easier play for the first baseman if he's over there, which Fielder is. See if he gets an elbow. Yeah, right to the side.
Did.
It's like a knockout punch. Stunned him. Caught an elbow in the jaw.
Oh, man, you can see absolutely he ran straight into him. And
yes, that's no doubt.
I don't think he's coming back.
Obviously, they didn't call for it, or somebody did, and I didn't see Fielder saying anything. That's why both of them are going for it. It's an out. It's got to, I would assume, it's got to go as an error because that ball could have been played by either player. And you can see that jaw ran right into the elbow of Prince Fielder. No play?
Oh, Avila's to his feet. I tell you what, after the way he went down, I'd really be surprised if he stays in this game.
Well, he might have got knocked silly there for a little while.
Yeah, you just in this day and age,
Yeah,
with all
here
we
he
know
goes.
about concussions now, you can't take any chances.
Especially back there behind the plate. Really surprised that there's not an error on that ball because, you know what, both of them could have made the play. But he got smoked on the play, and he is woozy. Running into that, though, I mean, he is a big man. Boom. That caught him right in the jaw. So he will end up coming out.
Man, let's see who the Tigers. You got to believe it's Gerald Laird, but I haven't seen him yet, probably because he didn't have his gear handy. So he's getting suited up, and we'll wait on him before the game continues. Meanwhile, Prince Fielder's just fine. And here comes Laird to take over the catching duties now for Detroit. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Tribe leading the Tigers 4-3. A runner at first with 2 down. Carlos Santana will have a 1-strike count when play resumes. After he should have been out and the inning should have been over.
All right, we've got time. High school and college students, you can get half-price tickets on select seating locations with a valid student ID for the games presented by Taco Bell, Doritos, Locos Tacos. There are only 2 left. It'll be Thursday afternoon against the Twins and the 28th of September against the Royals.
So Laird out to talk with Smiley. And now we're ready to resume. Smiley comes set. And Santana pops another one up.
He's trying to do it again.
Back out of play. Runner goes. Smiley's 2-strike pitch is down low, and a steal for Cabrera, his 8th of the year. Timed him perfectly.
Went on first movement with that count. I'm surprised they didn't throw over, to be honest with you. 0-2 just to throw over on so they don't run on first movement.
In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Santana chops it to third. Cabrera with a diving stop from his knees. He throws high, and fielder missed the tag. The Indians score again. Cabrera scores. Fielder's whining again, claiming that he tagged him. And now Lloyd McClendon will pick up where Jim Leland left off an inning ago. Fielder is stomping mad, like a kid who just got his candy taken away from him from his parents. And now Lloyd McClendon, with his palms raised to the sky, arguing with Brian Knight at first base. Fielder was claiming that he tagged Santana on the back before he got to the bag. And while that was going on, Asdrubal Cabrera was touching home plate.
Well, he says he got him. That's a hard call, even with our camera angle, but with 2 outs, you automatically go. So you go back to that foul ball that knocked Avila out of play that should have been the 3rd out. They didn't make the play. I couldn't tell if he tagged him there. Fielder felt he did. He is called safe. Good hustle by Cabrera to come around and score.
Now here comes Lloyd McClendon again.
Does that go as a base hit?
Well, McClendon's out arguing with Brian Knight again after he had given up the argument earlier. All right, so that's over. McClendon goes back. I wonder if McClendon was asking him, did you call him safe because he missed the tag or because he was on the bag when the tag occurred? Because, as you said, it was hard to tell on the replay if he tagged him, but even if he did, was he already on the bag when he applied the tag?
Well, if there was a tag,
well, I don't know.
You can't tell. You really can't. That guy at first base, Brian Knight, has had 3 tough plays in the last couple of innings. I mean, you can call them either way you want.
Runner goes, throw down, and Santana is out to end the inning. But the Indians add to their lead, and it's 5-3 Cleveland as we go to the 7th.
playing in Arizona with the Indians. The Indians right now have some great travel packages for you, whether you want to come for just a weekend, go a whole week, or the whole spring training. You could get an all-inclusive deal that includes a meet and greet with the player. Get all the information online now, Indians.com/spring. And then don't forget, just one more homestand after this one to take advantage of those transportation options. You can park right next door in the Gateway Garage, ride on the RTA rail service, or take free shuttles over here to the ballpark from Ohio City. Again, it's all online for you at Indians.com. Matt, Rick, we'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Katie. The Indians lead it 5-3, and Joe Smith will take over now for Ubaldo Jimenez.
Joe coming on for the 64th time. Well, he's going to face Laird, Infante, and Berry. Jimenez battled. He was on the ropes in the first inning. You know, he gave up the 2 runs, ended up pitching 6 innings, 5 hits, gave up 3 runs, walked 3, struck out 2. So Ubaldo's going to be in line for the win.
Well, you know, Rick, we talked about it so many times before. When the Indians have beaten the Tigers this year, they've been a lot of close games, and they've had the lead, and they've gone to the strength of their team, which has been the bullpen.
Right.
Smith, Pistano, Perez. We'll see if they can do it again.
No, you're right. That has been the MO for the whole year for the Indians, going against the Tigers.
And Gerald Laird, who took over for Alex Avila, who was dazed after running headlong into Prince Fielder chasing that foul ball. Beats it into the ground. Hanahan on the run. Fires and gets him. 1 away. Let's get the answer now to the AT&T trivia question. 3,000th hit off a future Hall of Famer. Dave Winfield, who got his 3,000th off Dennis Eckersley back in 1993. Base hit into left field for Omar Infante. That's the Tigers' first hit since Delman Young's RBI single in the 3rd gave them a 3-0 lead. So it's back on this date in 1993. Dave Winfield at the Metrodome, playing in his hometown, and Eck on the hill trying to close it out for Oakland. And he'll see an eye single for number 3,000.
A long arm and long. He had the long arms to get that ball through, but
boy, back in that era, when you think of Winfield, and he's not as old, but I think of Dave Parker and Dave Winfield.
big
Two
men.
of the biggest guys. I mean, they looked out of place in that era.
On a baseball field, yes, they did. They were big. Yeah, another guy you throw into the mix a little before those guys with Frank Howard.
Behondo, yeah. Yeah.
6'8", 300 pounds.
He might have been bigger than both of them. I think he was probably.
Oh, yeah. Height-wise, he was.
And Quentin Berry out looking. And now he's griping. 2 down. Take another look here as Joe Smith
Goes with that little sinker, and it's down, and it's borderline knee height, but that's right on the plate. too close to take. If you're Quentin Berry, you got to swing at that pitch.
Andy Dirks 1 for 3 in the ball game. Takes outside. White Sox beat the Twins 9-2. And that's way outside 2-0.
Well, Smitty knows what's looming, so he doesn't want to, any way, shape, or form, let this guy reach base.
Line drive just beyond Cabrera's reach. And Cabrera had trouble scooping it up, but Infante holds at second base. And now there are 2 on with 2 out. And Miguel Cabrera is coming to the plate.
Well, Dirks did a nice job on this runaway sinker there. That ball tailing away from him. He stayed on and just out of the reach of Cabrera. He hit it right on the nose. But what that does, it brings up the best hitter. One of the Detroit Tigers, one of the best hitters in the league, and awfully tough in the clutch. So he's going to get a chance with 2 guys on, 2 guys out.
Now, Vinny Pastano just started warming in the Indians bullpen.
Yeah, there's no time for him here in this situation. But what they might do, if Cabrera should reach, he might be available for the next hitter if they get him up and they stall for a little time. But right now, it's going to be Smith facing Cabrera.
So Ruben Niebla has had his say. He'll head back. And Joe Smith will go to work. Cabrera popped up on the infield his last time up when his bat exploded. Facing Ubaldo Jimenez. Now Joe Smith deals. And it's outside ball 1.
Outfield very deep, and why not? Because you've got the tying run at first base. You want to cut that off should anything be hitting the gap with 2 outs, because you know they'll be sending them.
High drive, deep left field. Back is Cabrera. Look it up, and it's gone. And the Tigers have taken the lead on a 2-out, 3-run homer by Miguel Cabrera, his 38th of the year. Gave him 123 runs batted in.
Well, you talk about MVP, and anytime the game is on the line, this guy has a knack. And he caught himself a hanging slider, and it was no doubt. He was looking, I think, for that first pitch as a sinker in, but he gets the slider after he missed away. And he missed on the plate with that slider at 80 miles an hour, and that's a no-doubter. Back comes Detroit with 3 with 2 outs.
An outfielder, an opposite field line drive, base hit to left. Now Delman Young, 1 for 2, an RBI single back in the 3rd. Jammed him, rolls it to 3rd. Hanahan will go to 2nd. That'll end the inning. But the Tigers get up off the deck here in the 7th inning. And Miguel Cabrera powers them back into the lead. 7th inning stretch brought to you. Visit letsmoveit.org for all the information. Get a look in at Progressive Field on this Sunday afternoon from our Panini camera. Stop by and get overstuffed at Panini's Bar and Grill. Well, the Tigers have roared back to take a 6-5 lead. Then in the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Michael Brantley, Russ Kanzler, and Lonnie Chisenhall. Drew Smiley, who's worked an inning and a third, will stay on for the Tigers.
Yeah, they had the one right-hander, Kanzler, in, and all left-handers. The rest of them 8 in the lineup today, so that's why Smiley's going to stay right there.
Fouled back, 0-2.
You don't want to pitch to that guy with the game on the line ever.
Well, he's had a terrific year. Not just against the Indians. Yes, he's put up great numbers against the Tribe, but he's potentially the MVP in the American League because he's done it to everybody. And as you said, that's the last spot you want to have to face him, where you got to pitch to him.
Well, the only thing I could think of, though, with Smitty out there, they got up Pastano a little too late.
Yep.
If he was going to be coming on in the 7th inning, that would be the guy you'd want him to face.
And a 3-2 pitch. Brantley, backhanded by Infante. One away.
And Joe Smith left him a slider out over the plate, which was not a very good pitch either. But the one thing, he still had to hit it, and he hit it a ton. He knew it. As soon as he hit it, there it goes. His 3rd hit on the day. That was his 2nd 3-run home run on the year. 23 solo, 13 2-runners. Well, there you see it. This year, Miguel Cabrera. But yeah, 23 RBIs against the Tribe. He's out. The ball hit him out of the batter's box.
No, Ezekiel Carrera was trying to drag bunt his way aboard, but he was out of the box, and the ball hit him in. That is out number 2. So that'll bring up Lonnie Chisenhall as we get another look.
There it did. It got him on the elbow. You're right, after he was trying to get out of the way of it, and he was out of the batter's box right now. And the ball caught him on the elbow, so he is out. That'll go 2 unassisted.
Ball 1 to Lonnie Chisenhall. Pop back out of play. Smiley with a 1-1. And Lonnie fouls it right back. Chisenhall strikes out, and the Indians go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 8th, 6-5 Detroit.
presented by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Six-five Tigers, 8th inning. And now Vinny Pistano coming on to face Brennan Bosch, Johnny Peralta, and Gerald Laird.
Well, there's Vinny Pistano this year in his 10 games against the Tigers. What a year. 4 hits, 12 strikeouts.
Out of play. Right back to Vinny, who made a nice stab. 1 away. Well, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. If you're a Detroit fan, it's Cabrera time.
Kidding.
You know, you're talking about Pistano and Perez, who've pitched well against the Tigers. How about Cody Allen yesterday? An inning and 2/3, he struck out all 5 Tigers that he faced, including Miguel Cabrera. So another guy, a young guy who's gotten an opportunity this year, and he's pitched well.
It's amazing, isn't it? 23rd round draft pick
Yeah.
this last year, and he's already made it to the big leagues.
Swung on and missed. Indians might have felt like they had something last year with Cody Allen, because he struck out 75 hitters in 54 innings of work. And he ended last year at Double-A, so I mean he blew through the system pretty quickly. Meanwhile, Vinny Pistano continues to do to the Tigers what he's done all year long.
Well, just went at him with a good fastball, 92 miles an hour, but you can see it seems like it's by him. Comes up empty, so 2 up, 2 down.
Fly ball to right. Chu racing back on the move. Makes the catch. And Detroit goes 1-2-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning as Pistano mows him down on 8 pitches. 6-5 Tigers.
Bottom of the 8th inning. And Drew Smiley's going to stay out there after 2 1/3 innings of relief work. Don Kelly has come on defensively now in right field for Brennan Bosch. We're going to get a pinch hitter now as Vinny Rotino will bat for Casey Kochman.
Oh, he's coming out to make the move already.
So Lloyd McClendon's going to go to his bullpen with Vinny Rotino coming to the plate. He'll go to the right-hander, and we've got a timeout with the Tigers nursing a 1-run lead. All right, back here at Progressive Field. The Indians sent up Vinny Rotino, so Lloyd McClendon made the move to the right-hander Brian Villarreal, who is a flame-throwing right-hander. And the Indians have then countered with Cord Phelps, who will now pinch hit. Bottom of the 8th inning. Indians down a run. Down low, ball 1. Outside corner, a called strike. Threw it by him at 98 miles an hour.
Yeah, he can get it up there. They've got some good arms coming out of this Tigers pen.
And if you noticed on that last pitch, outside part of the plate. 98's always even more effective when it's located away.
If you locate it, you're not going to hit it. Period.
That's low. 2-2.
Hit on the ground to second. Infante will throw him out, one away. For every home run hit this season by the Indians, Rick and I are donating $5, and Great Clips is donating $50 to the Gathering Place. Our season total $7,440. Great needs, great deeds, Great Clips. And we're going to get another pitching change. Matching up batter for batter here in the eighth.
Maybe Phil Koch coming out of that bullpen. I didn't see him up, but I'm sure it's him. Yeah.
Another timeout. 6-5 Detroit. Six-5 Tigers. And Phil Koch, the left-hander, coming on for Detroit. 59th appearance on the year. A win, 3 losses, 3.62 ERA. He has punched out 46 in his 49 2/3 innings. And he'll now face an Indians pinch hitter. It will be Brent Lillibridge, who is called off the bench to bat for Jack Hanahan.
Back when the Tigers had their bullpen going quite well, Phil Koch was one of the guys that was the few guys struggling, who was their main left-hander out of that bullpen. They were trying to get him back on track back when we were 2 weeks ago in Detroit. This is a guy that he throws hard. He throws at 94 miles an hour, but he was a little out of sync. Wasn't throwing strikes. A guy they definitely need.
Outside, 2-0. Got the call. Looked a little low, but it's 2-1 now. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. With 1 down here in the last half of the 8th inning. Fouled right back. And he strikes him out with a good off-speed pitch, 2 down. That'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo. Choo is 1 for 4 with a 2-run single back in the 4th inning. The Indians, over the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, scored 5 runs to turn a 3-0 deficit into a 5-3 lead. But that was erased in the 7th when Miguel Cabrera hit a 3-run homer to put Detroit back in front. Low breaking ball. Fastball in for a strike. And Choo down on the count of 1-2. Pushed him back a little bit, 2-2. Well, Koch still can be an effective left-hander at 95 miles an hour, and then he comes with that off-speed pitch around 81.
He has very good stuff. Remember 2 years ago they tried starting him for a while for that first part of the year. They like him better coming out of the bullpen. He's got a great arm.
He's running full to Choo with 2 down here in the 8th. High fly ball left field, and Dirks has it. The Indians go 1-2-3. We'll go to the 9th. 6-5 Detroit. Six-5 Tigers on top. And we go to the 9th inning. The Indians going back to the bullpen as Esmail Rogers will make his 37th appearance for the Tribe.
Matt Laporta goes into first base. Brent Lillibridge in at third.
Infante ignited the rally in the 7th inning with a 1-out single. Seemed harmless at the time, but his base hit got it rolling. And after Quentin Berry struck out with 2 down, Andy Dirks got a base hit, and that enabled Miguel Cabrera to bat with 2 on and 2 out. And then he launched a 3-run homer to the bleachers and left. Popped him up. Foul ground. Long run. And Laporta couldn't get to it, and he tumbles over the railing into the seats. Now let's see if he's okay. A little slow to come out of there. Appears to be just fine.
Well, you know you're getting close. He ended up leaving his feet and trickles in over there, just out of reach. Just out of reach. Oh, so close. But it looks like everybody's okay.
You always worry about that when a guy goes into the seats like that because people aren't aware of the shoes, the bottom of those spikes.
Well, we saw Jason Donald in Detroit do it. And right here, you're right. You're looking at the ball. Well, the fans a lot of times are looking for the foul ball. They're not looking for a player to come down in the seats.
Two and two the count here for Infante. Popped him up, foul again. Here we go again. Laporta over.
He'll get this.
Near the railing, leads in, makes the catch, and does he hang on?
Yes.
He didn't make the play. Couldn't hang on to it.
No, he didn't. I thought he had that one.
He ran headlong into that sign, and now he might have had the wind knocked out of him. They were calling for the trainer, but Laporta appears to be okay.
I think you're right. He probably knocked the wind out of him as he goes into the. See that railing?
Oh, cut the railing. It wasn't just the sign. He had it. And
his chest hit that railing, and I'll bet he did knock the wind out of him.
Must have popped out when he hit the railing, huh?
Couldn't tell. As the umpire was saying, it's in the seats, which it was. No fan interference, but he couldn't hold on. How about that back-to-back plays on the same hitter hitting the same ball?
And Brian Knight doing what the umpire in New York failed to do on that ball that Dwayne Wise caught and then dropped when we were in Yankee Stadium. He never went in to check, whereas Brian Knight went in and made sure. That was Mike DeMuro, I believe, was the umpire in New York, who never went in to see if he had the ball, and Dwayne Wise just ran off the field and never had the ball. Popped in the air to center field. Brantley comes in, and he's got it one away. Here's our box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers, who invite you to come see the all-new 2012 Sonata. Visit NorthernOhioHyundaiDealers.com today. Well, the Tigers got some RBI hits early, but Miguel Cabrera got the big blow late. And Quentin Berry, who was called out on strikes his last time up, looks at strike one. He's 0 for 4 today, 2 for 7 in the series. Berry, the speedster, not in the original starting lineup in the leadoff spot. He was batting second. But a late scratch for Austin Jackson, their talented center fielder who's bothered by an ankle sprain. So that bumped Berry up to the leadoff spot and got Dirks into the lineup. Closer Jose Valverde getting loose for Detroit. And Rogers has fallen behind Berry now, 3-1. Drilled to left. Over the head of Cabrera, who can't catch up to it. And Quentin Berry into second base with a one-out double. His first hit today.
Tigers now into double digits on base hits. He just watches hands. He just used those hands. And that ball jumped off his bat over the head of Cabrera. You don't expect him to drive it out that far, but you can see it got over his head. Ishmael Rogers provided that power. So into second base, a one-out double.
And Rogers goes off speed to Dirks to get ahead for strike one. Man, he gets ahead now, 0-2, as Dirks doesn't like the call.
He hasn't disagreed a whole lot today. He hasn't liked it.
Bounced it in there. Berry holds as Santana kept it in front of him. Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck. And it's outside 2-2. There is Cabrera. And another ball in the dirt, full count. So he had him 0-2, but he's trying to get him to chase.
A little surprised with Berry and his speed that he wasn't able to get to third on that one, unless he didn't pick the ball up very well. That ricocheted off Santana. I mean, you've got to expect it. He bounced one earlier in the at-bat. He had an opportunity again, and you should be looking for that ball. It's usually easier to pick up when you're on second base than it is first or third.
And the payoff pitch is in the dirt again, and now Barry will go to third.
Well, 3 times the charm. I don't know what happened there. Did that one bounce?
Yeah, it was a fastball in the dirt. He just threw it.
Rogers all over the place. He'll walk. Now first and third. Now what do you have to do? Yeah, that was. You're right. It was back over there. The backhand didn't cut it. That'll go as a wild pitch. A walk on Dirks. And now you've got to face the best hitter they've got.
And depending on what Mike Trout does today with the Angels, Miguel Cabrera is sitting at 331, and that's where Trout began the day in the batting title race. Mike Trout, I'm told, went 0 for 3, so he's dropped to 329. So at least for the moment, Miguel Cabrera has taken over the league lead in batting average now. And then with another homer, he's only 4 behind Hamilton for the home run chase. And let's see, in RBIs, what does he move up to? He's tied with him in RBIs.
Interesting.
Fastball, strike called. Now, see, that's what I guess, I don't know. You know, he got ahead of Dirks, and then it was all breaking stuff, off-speed stuff. Instead of, he got a good 97-mile-an-hour heater. Why not at least once?
Well, you've got.
I know Dirk's a good fastball hitter, but.
Well, if you locate your fastball, they shouldn't be able to hit it. But, you know, it all depends on how they go about their scouting report. They've been getting a low pitch like that all day long. You're going to see it right at the knees or maybe a little below, but it's a good pitch.
He's been calling that a lot today, though. So yeah, you're right to stay right there. With 1 out, he's ahead of him 1-2. Oh, just missed.
It's all right. A good pitch. A very good pitch. You see where Santana's sitting. You see where the ball is delivered. It's a little off the plate.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to expand.
Why not? That's a good 1-2 pitch.
Popped him up.
Careful, Laporta. You've already been over there a couple times this inning.
He didn't have to challenge the railing that time. It was far enough out of play where he could watch it settle. Two balls, 2 strikes with 2 on and 1 out here in the 9th, and the Tigers leading at 6-5.
Well, they want to talk about it right now. He made an excellent pitch with 1-2 off the plate. He didn't bite. He got in on him right there with a fastball in. Santana and Rogers talked. I'd like to see him try and go in there with a fastball one more time. In off the plate instead of. I know he's got a good slider, but that's a pitch he hit out of the ballpark. Go in there and make him conscious of it inside.
2-2. Wow, that one went right off the mask of Santana. Whew. That shook him up. 96-mile-an-hour fastball redirected right off his forehead.
That's about right, redirected.
2 on, 1 out. And a 2-2 count. Swung out and missed. He got him. He was persistent. He stayed with that good location. And he strikes him out for out number 2.
Sure did. He went down and away with good velocity. Cabrera, late swing. He might have been looking inside too, but that ball got by him. So Rogers, a chance to get out of this inning now and keep it a 6-5 ball game.
Prince Fielder a base hit his last time up. Two balls, no strikes. There's a fastball strike. Six runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 5 left for Detroit. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 left for the Indians. And the Tigers have 2 on with 2 out. And now the 2-1 pitch. And it's ball 3. Caught the corner, full count. $17,233. The attendance here this afternoon. As Rogers delivers the payoff pitch. Big chopper to first. Laporta finally has a routine play. He'll take it himself, and the inning is over. Tigers threaten. They do not score. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. 6-5 Detroit.
6-5 Tigers, bottom of the ninth inning. Jose Valverde looking for his 32nd save of the year. He'll be going up against Jason Kipnis, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Carlos Santana. Valverde deals, and it's strike one. Kipnis pops it up foul, drifting out of play. And now he's down on the count, 0-2. Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care postgame show comes your way after we wrap things up here today. Indians will be off tomorrow, back to work Tuesday night when the Minnesota Twins come to town for a 3-game series. Valverde with the 0-2. Up high. Kipnis has walked, grounded out a couple of times, and popped one up. 0 for 7 in the series. Drives one up the alley into center field. Long run for Barry. It won't get it. Short hops the wall at center field. On his way to second base with a leadoff double is Jason Kipnis. So the Indians have the tying run at second to start the bottom of the ninth.
Hit that ball well with 2 strikes. Short hops the wall right out in front of the Indians bullpen. He went down, looked like a splitter, 84 miles an hour. It was down and had good break to it, but Kipnis put a nice swing on it. He's going to end up getting his first hit of the day, his 19th double. And what a start. There he is, the tying run in scoring position now for the Indians. You got a chance with Cabrera, Santana, and Brantley now.
Well, Asdrubal, Rick has hits in each of his last 2 at-bats. Almost to the backstop. A nice backhanded stab by Gerald Laird. Asdrubal Cabrera, you may recall, had the walk-off homer here at home off Aroldis Chapman of the Reds. This one is high down the right field line. It is falling. There! Oh, foul ball!
Boy, that was right.
Oh, man!
Oh, how close.
Oh, I thought that was right on the chalk, but first base umpire Brian Knight down the line signaling foul ball.
How many close calls has that guy had today at first base?
It's not been a usual day.
No, I mean to tell you, if he has had a day at first, he has had a month worth of close calls, and it was foul. Good call.
Yeah.
It was a couple inches foul. Look at Cabrera wanted it. No, you're not getting any help. He was out there looking at it, but boy, oh boy, has that guy had about 4 or 5 close calls today. He's going to go in. He's going to soak his head after the day in a tub of ice. He's had so many close calls.
Give me an ice bag for my head.
No kidding.
And send a dozen roses to Jim Leland. Leland was ejected earlier in the game by Brian Knight. Here's the 1-1 now to Cabrera. Fouled back out of play. Asdrubal not happy with himself. Might have chased one and helped him out. 1-2 the count. Maniac to Bruce Fields, hoping to find a little ninth inning magic here as the Indians trying to come from behind for the second time in this game. They trailed 3-0 before taking a 5-3 lead, only to watch the Tigers come back on a 3-run homer by Miguel Cabrera to take the 6-5 advantage. Again, it's fouled back. Asdrubal Cabrera missed 4 straight games before getting back in the lineup yesterday. Had 1 hit and 4 trips, and now 2 for 3, scoring a couple of runs. He's also stolen a base here today. White Sox won earlier, so the Tigers know they need to win to stay a game back going into their 1-game makeup with Chicago tomorrow. Popped him straight up. Cabrera slams the bat down at home plate in frustration. 1 away.
Well, he had a breaking ball. Look at it. He had a breaking ball he felt he could hit, but he didn't. He popped it up. That'll be out number 1.
Now Carlos Santana will be the batter. And Santana, 2 hits on the day with an RBI. And Carlos takes a first pitch strike. Santana. Ten of his 15 home runs have come from this side of the plate. Down and in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Santana has had his own history against the Tigers, taking late inning relievers deep. The 1-1. Popped it back out of play. Last year on April 29th, off Joaquin Benoit. Santana slamming it out of there. Jason Kipnis, the tying run is at second base. Valverde's 1-2 pitch. High fly ball, deep right field. Back is Kelly on the track at the wall. He can't make the catch. He tumbles to the track. Coming around third, Kipnis will score. On his way to third is Santana. It's an RBI triple. The Indians have tied it, and now the winning run is just 90 feet away. Don Kelly had a terrific effort. He got leather on it. But when he crashed into the wall, the ball popped loose. And the Indians have come back to hang a blown save on Valverde here in the bottom of the 9th. And think about this. Carlos Santana just yesterday got his first triple of the year. And now he's tripled in back-to-back games.
Yeah, unbelievable. And Kelly goes up, made nice effort. It didn't stick in the glove. He was expecting to hit that wall, I think, a little quicker than what he did. The ball bounces out. Santana gets all the way to third base. Now the Tigers have to bring in the infield. The Indians with a chance to win it. Right here, they're going to walk Brantley.
Well, they'll intentionally walk Brantley with Russ Kanzler. Actually was taken out of the game, so it's Ezekiel Cabrera who's in the on-deck circle. So the walk to Brantley.
How they play it here. 1 out. Cabrera the hitter. Going to continue. It's almost tougher to play the infield back for 2.
Remember, Cabrera was out his last time up trying to bunt.
Yeah, you walk him up also, and you load him up. And then Chisenhall is going to get a chance to try and win the game.
So the Tigers are going to go for broke. And Lonnie Chisenhall is going to try to break their hearts. Chisenhall today, by the way, is 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. But all they need now is a fly ball deep enough to the outfield to get Santana home from third.
Well, the pitching coach is going to go out and have his say. But the Indians started it with the Kipnis leadoff double. And then Valverde able to get Cabrera to fly out without advancing the runner. The Santana triple tied the game, and then they had to walk the 2 guys intentionally.
But the 2 hits, both have gone to the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, Kipnis short hopped the fence in center. And, of course, Santana put Kelly right up against the fence on the dead run in right field. So they've tagged him for a couple of pretty good shots. Now you just need Chisenhall to hit one deep enough to get Santana home to win it. Bottom of the 9th. Indians have rallied to tie it. Now they'll look to win it. Valverde delivers. Chisenhall drives it deep right field, and the Indians will win it. A come-from-behind walk-off win in the bottom of the 9th as Lonnie Chisenhall stuns the Tigers. Boy, just a dramatic come-from-behind win for the Indians as Lonnie Chisenhall got into that pitch and roped it to deep right center field. Even if they'd have been playing them normally, I don't think they would have made that play. But with everybody drawn in, there was no chance. And the Indians, with 2 in the bottom of the 9th, beat Detroit 7-6. And it's a tough loss for the Tigers. It stops their 4-game win streak and drops them 2 games in back of the White Sox in the American League Central Division. And it's time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, with a man on second base, Carlos Santana, 1 out in the 9th inning. He is going to hit a jolt, man, to right field. He gets it off the wall. Kelly, a nice attempt, ends up hitting the wall. It doesn't stick in the glove and gets his 2nd triple in as many days. That was the tying run. They ended up walking the next 2 guys before they win it. That was the big play right there.
Get to a KeyBank branch now and rake in big savings on a car loan or home equity loan during KeyBank's Rake It In loan event. A tremendous, thrilling win for the Tribe, and Katie Witham's with the hero downstairs.
Well, Lonnie, you guys were able to jump all over Valverde here. A walk-off single for you. What were you looking for, and what did you jump on?
Well, I knew I was swinging first pitch. He goes right after guys. You know, I got an okay pitch to hit, and I put a good swing on it.
Well, and you got to talk about Carlos Santana, back-to-back triples. This one, a huge triple. What's it like when he's swinging a hot bat?
You know, it's fun to watch guys like that go for triples. It doesn't happen very often, and, you know, he's swinging the bat well right now, and it's fun to have the lineup doing that.
I know you guys want to play spoiler. Is this a big win today?
It is. You know, if we can't be in it, we don't want anybody else to. So, you know, that's our job.
All right, Lonnie, appreciate the time. Congrats.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Katie. Final numbers. The Indians, 7 runs, 13 hits, 1 error, 11 left. For the Tigers, 6 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, 7 stranded. The winning pitcher is Esmael Rogers. He's 2-1. The loser is Jose Valverde, who drops to 3-3. The time of the game, 3 hours and 24 minutes. The attendance, 17,233. We're back with the Conrad's postgame show. Coming up next.